It's kind of crazy, but I have owned my Corvette Z06 for 3 years. It's amazing how time flies. I actually have one of the longest Z06 ownerships possible because this is car number 38. So if you assume they delivered them sequentially, which they probably did not, there are 37 people who have had their cars for longer, but I absolutely love this car. So we're gonna do a 3-year ownership update, sharing what it's been like, some things about ownership costs over the 3 years, what it's been like to maintain it, and just my thoughts on the Z06 now that it's 3 years old. This is the third garage that the Z06 has called home because when I first bought the car, I was living in Illinois, outside of Chicago in the suburbs, and then I moved back to Michigan, and then recently my wife and I bought this house where the car is right now. The garage is in kind of rough shape. That's a project for the future. I need to have the floors repaired and then professionally epoxy coated. We'll paint the walls, do the lighting, everything to make the garage nice. Now it's approaching winter in Michigan, so it's time to get the Z06 ready for storage. Have a couple things to take care of, so we'll take the car for a drive and talk about what it's been like to own. We only have a 2-car garage here, and I like being able to put Angel's car, my wife, and press cars in the garage in the winter, so we're gonna move this car to my parents' house. They have a 3-car garage and only 2 cars, so I can steal one of the garage spots over there. But first, cold start. Never get tired of that. When you close the door, you get the welcome animation, which shows off that LT6 flat plane crank V8 and then goes to the side profile. Get the Corvette flags right there, the logo, and then on. Now they have updated the interior now for the 2026 model year, so this is the old style one. The new one adds another screen right here. It's been redesigned, and they redid the center.
This vehicle is connected by OnStar to limited services.
I don't care about OnStar. And they redid the center console here. They moved the cup holders, and they got rid of the Great Wall of Corvette buttons. You know what sucks? It's barely 5 o'clock and the sun is already setting and it's getting dark. Anyways, the Z06. So this is my 2023 C8 Z06 finished in rapid blue with the Z07 pack, the carbon aero. I've only done a couple slight changes. So you'll see aftermarket forged Vossen wheels with PS4S tires, because when you order this with the Z07 package, it comes on Cup 2R tires, and Cup 2Rs are pretty extreme, like track slicks. PS4S is a much more well-rounded tire. With Cup 2Rs, if it gets rainy out, you might hydroplane. If it gets cold out, you're not going anywhere, and the tires really just don't last that long. So PS4S is a much more well-rounded tire, summer performance tire. The wheels are the same size before, slightly more aggressive fitment. I left the suspension completely stock. Exhaust is completely stock. The car has full Expel paint protection film, and the only other mod is back here. We have an Venturi intake in carbon fiber, which looks really, really cool. I installed it myself. It was a pain in the butt to remove the factory airbox because of one bolt. Everything else was pretty easy, but there was like one bolt on the back, and that sucked. But that went in. You get this little window. You can see the carbon intake. It has a little bit of mid-range power, and you can hear a little bit of intake sound when you're not under full throttle. Once you get up in the high rev range, the exhaust is so loud, that's all you really hear. But that's one mod that I have done. Otherwise, just enjoyed the car. I still absolutely love the way this looks. Rapid Blue has now been discontinued as a color for the C8, and I mean, some people call it Smurf Blue. I personally just love the way this car looks. It's the perfect blend of aggression and just, oh, look at it. Sorry that it's so dark out. It's barely 5:30, daylight savings time. We're saving all of the daylights. But the Z06, what has it been like to own? 3 years. I can't believe it's been 3 years. So I took delivery of this car in actually it's beginning of December, so we're not quite technically at 3 years yet, but the car's about to go into storage. I went down and did museum delivery down at Bowling Green. First time ever ordering a car of this magnitude, this level, brand new. It was a really, really special experience because I fell in love with this car just getting a passenger seat ride along. The Corvette team invited me out to go out in some camouflage prototype Z06s with the engineers, and I was like, oh my God, I need one of these in my life. And I ordered it as soon as it was possible. Took delivery of the car. and have loved every single mile. Woo. So why the Z06? I love naturally aspirated high revving engines. For those of you that have been watching me for a while, you'll recall my lineup was the Z06, a Shelby GT350R, and Audi R8 RWS. All of those are naturally aspirated high revving engines, and they just feel more special to me. Are there faster cars for the money in terms of just like straight line acceleration power figures? Yes, Nissan GTR, Porsche 911 Turbo S. Now there's the ZR1. We'll get to the ZR1 in a moment. But the emotion, the feeling, and the noise of this powertrain setup just has me enamored. And 3 years later, I still love this car. So yeah, keeping the car, that's essentially my highest form of endorsement. I have some people ask me, it's like, oh, Z06, should I get one? They're getting to be pretty good deals. Do you love yours? Yeah, car's paid off, warranty is extended. I have never ordered a car of this magnitude from brand new. It's mine, it's special. Got my little EddieX plaque in the middle, right? So as long as I am able to, I want to keep this in the garage in my, hopefully, collection. The collection has been whittled down to just this one car, right? Now, I don't get to drive this as much as I wish I could, just between travel, the press cars I get, the nature of my life, right? So I have almost 7,000 miles on it, which is low. It's a little bit of a shame. But when I first took delivery of the car, it went out to California, drove it from Southern California to Scottsdale. It stayed in Arizona for the winter, would make trips out there, drive it, get it through break-in, and enjoy it. Lots of fun memories in this car. Let's talk about dollars. Cost. How much has this car cost me to own in the 3 years time? Zero in terms of maintenance. That's not fair. I'll explain that in a moment. Purchase price was around $151,000. That was my MSRP. Call it $150,000. And when this car was brand new, there was silly markup because you just couldn't get it. There were constraints. The 07 pack with the big carbon wing was a rarity, so it was really difficult to get, but I was very lucky, got one at MSRP. $150,000 was the way I optioned it. You could have built it even higher. I could have done hardtop convertible, more carbon fiber wheels, so this could have been a $170,000, $175,000 car if I wanted to, but I love the way I ordered it here. Now, ownership costs, oil changes and transmission filter service, filter and fluids, right? Those are the two ones that I've paid for, sort of. Remember the markup that I was talking about? Well, there was the carrot and the stick approach to try to curb people flipping the Z06. The stick was, if you flipped your Z06, Chevy supposedly would void the warranty on the car and ban you from buying any specialty GM vehicles in the future, whether it's another Corvette Z06, Cadillac Blackwings maybe, things like that, right? The carrot side of the approach was you got 500,000 General Motors like loyalty points, and those 500,000 points could be converted to pay for accessories, service, even a new car, right? It would be $5,000 worth off of a new car purchase or something like that. So I've been using those points for my oil changes. I've done 4 oil changes, 1 after break-in and then 1 every year. This one just had a recent one done, and they've crept up to be about $200 for materials, labor, which I actually think is not bad, right? Because if you just look at material cost, I mean, that's a majority of it, right? This does take synthetic oil, and I've done it at the dealership just to maintain that like trail of service and everything, and it's been not that bad, but I've used my points for that too. Same thing with the transmission filter fluid flush. I did that after break-in, so that has been done. Still plenty of life left there for the DCT, and that's all I've had to do in terms of service costs, and to me, that's cost zero. I've used my points. The other thing I use my points for is I extended the warranty. So this one now has a 84-month warranty. I purchased the extended service plan via my Chevy dealer. It was like $2,400 maybe, so 2,400 points, or 24,000, 240,000, whatever the point conversion is, right? It was free to me. Again, I still have like almost 200,000 points left, so that's pretty awesome. I don't think they continued that program. It's definitely not available now because these just aren't selling for a markup anymore. It's a regular production Corvette. It was going to reach a semblance of market normal pricing. The other things I've done have been voluntary, my cost. I mentioned the new tires. So this PS4S's are they're pretty pricey. Rears are like $600-700 because they're 345s. So it's like between $2,000 and $2,400 for a set of tires. I did get a nail in a rear tire, but luckily I had ordered them through Tire Rack, and they have that like warranty replacement program. So I was able to get a rear tire replaced, which thank goodness, because it was literally like $670 for a PS4S, because it is massive, right? What else have I done? Paint protection film to get full body PPF done properly. It's about a $10,000 job. You can find people cheaper, you can find people more expensive, but when you're protecting a car like this brand new, I'm not going to cut corners. I want the corners to actually look really good, right? So New Layer Customs did the PPF. It's got full body XPEL. I think that is worth it just for peace of mind and not worrying about scratches and things like that, right? Otherwise, just own it and enjoy it. I've spent a lot of money on gas because this thing is very, very thirsty and inefficient, but you know, it's all about smiles per gallon. Let me turn on my defrost a little bit. My windshield's getting slightly foggy. Let's talk about the ZR1, because that's a natural question now that that thing is out and I still have my Z06. I had a lot of people asking me, are you going to go for the ZR1? And I contributed to that because that was my plan. I was like, well, I want a ZR1 because it's ballistic, 1,000 horsepower rear-wheel drive Corvette. What? But I didn't want to give this car up because they still feel different. This is the pure, naturally aspirated, higher revving, flat plane crank. The ZR1 is really, really cool. And after I drove it, I was like, wow, wow, wow. If I own this, I might go to jail because it's so fast and so easy to go fast. But the thing is, I don't live at Thermal. I don't have access to a private racetrack on a daily basis. When am I actually going to use 1,000 horsepower? At no point driving my Z06 on the road in the real world have I been like, you know, 670 horsepower is inadequate. This is so slow. I feel like I'm walking. So I've elected not to go for the ZR1. And another factor is cost. This car was $150,000 when new. Right now, a 2023 like mine with 7,000 miles, I mean, what's retail? 120 to 130 if I do well, right? It is a nicely spec'd car, I think, higher options, but no, regardless, like, it wasn't gonna stay at MSRP. It stayed for a pretty long time, but it's never gonna go up. They built a lot of these. So I would have to eat the lost cost, sales tax, so forth, PPF, everything, and then pay more because the ZR1 is more expensive. An equivalently spec one would be in the low 200s. And the way I was thinking is like, I would rather have my Z06 and then also have a Shelby GT350R again. I miss that car so much. I'd rather have that two-car combination. It is like properly dark out now. Can you guys even see anything? Michigan winter. Goodbye, sun. We'll see you in 6 months. You might not be able to see, but you can still hear, right? This car will still put a grin on my face, get my heart racing, the sound every time I start it up. Yeah, I still absolutely love this car. I think without a doubt, it is still the best sports car, you can argue supercar all-around experience for under $150,000. If you find a used one for right around $100,000, even without Z07 pack with the carbon wing, I would go for it. It is such a special experience over the regular Stingray, over the E-Ray, over pretty much anything right now, right? I love this car quite a lot. And it's been solid. I haven't had any massive problems. Now, there is an open recall right now that came out recently, and that is a big, massive problem because it's a recall where the car might burn down. It has to do with the fueling. If you have a faulty pump or you're not careful and fuel drips and there's a radiator back there, pulls it in, car catches on fire. So there was a stop sale issued, which now I believe has been lifted. But when I just went to get this car serviced, right, I asked, and they're like, we don't have the fix from GM yet. So I don't know what it's gonna look like. Maybe it's like a little drip tray or something with programming the fans for the radiators to not turn on when it's fueling. I don't know what it's going to be like, but there's that. Otherwise, I let the car come to temperature before I start driving it, you know, take care of it, all of these types of things. Yeah, I love this thing. Absolutely love this car. It's time to put it away into the garage for storage. But there it is, a 3-year ownership update on the Z06. If you have any questions, definitely comment below. Send me an email, send me a message. Happy to answer. I have probably sold a dozen people on the Z06. I can think of many, many people who bought a car because of either my videos or talking to me directly. My friend Jordan, he comes to mind. We were just in Arizona doing a video with him. He has a P1, he has an SVJ, but he loves the heck out of his Z06 on track. That thing is set up fully as a dedicated track monster. Is the Z01 insane? Absolutely. Is the Z01X gonna be even more insane? Probably, right? But the Z06 is more than enough, and I absolutely love this car. I expect it to stay around, so more and more content on it, comparing to other cars, keeping you guys updated over the long-term ownership costs and what it's been like. But so far, that's everything. That's everything. It's just been oil changes, the transmission service. Drive it and enjoy. It's getting cold. Traction not found. This is turning into like a nighttime video. Doesn't help that my windows have been darkened by tint. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, expand. All right, there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed this ownership update video. Sorry it was a little bit rushed. I've got 8 quadrillion things going on right now. I was just in Las Vegas for the Las Vegas Concours media drive event, and then a day of SEMA. Flew back in last night, picked up a press car, was out all day, have so many things to take care of, have a McLaren press car coming tomorrow, endless things. Check out my ZR1 videos. Those were a lot of fun, and my other Z06 content. Again, any questions about the car, what it's been like to own, definitely send me a DM on Instagram, always happy, or an email. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for watching.